Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football and welcome to the Match Week 4 Premier League predictions. As always, let's start by taking a look at how I did last week. It wasn't the most convincing week, a lot of shock results, but here's how I did. Tottenham against Wolves, I went for a 2-1. It ended up being 1-0 to Tottenham, so I got the correct score, but not the correct result, but not the correct score. I went for Crystal Palace to draw with Aston Villa 2-2. Crystal Palace ended up winning that game. I went for Everton drawing 1-1 with Nottingham Forest. I got that one spot on. Nottingham Forest was so close to winning that game, but Everton equalized late on. I went for Leicester to beat Southampton 3-2. They were winning in that game until Southampton came back from 1 goal behind and to score 2 goals in the second half. I went for Fulham to draw with Brentford 2-2. That was 2-2 until like the 90th minute before Mitrovic scored the late winner, so close to that one. I went for Arsenal to beat Bournemouth by 4 goals to 1. It ended up being 3-0, so correct results, but not the correct score. From now on, these were just shock results, basically. I went for Chelsea to beat Leeds 3-2. Maybe some of you would have gone for a draw, but Leeds to thump Chelsea by 3 goals to 0. I don't think many people saw that coming. I went for Man City to win against Newcastle United 3-1, but it ended up being 3-3. That was a shock result for me. I always expect Man City to win, but Newcastle are looking very good. I went for West Ham Brighton to draw 1-1. I never expect West Ham to beat Brighton. They've never really beaten Brighton at all, but it didn't. But Brighton ended up winning the game. And then Man United Liverpool, I went for a Liverpool win, but Man United won that game. I'm not sure many people predicted that. So it was a tough week. Only one correct score and 2 correct results, so 5 points there. I did get one player to definitely score. I went for EVERTON at Brentford. He scored, it got disallowed, and then he scored again, so I was happy with that. And then in total number of goals scored, I went for 33. I think there were 32 goals, so I only missed out by 1. But let's see how I do this week. As always, let me know your predictions in the comment section. One player to definitely score, total number of goals, and the prediction for the 10 games. Let's get started. The first game this week will be Southampton against Manchester United. As I just said, Man United surprisingly beat Liverpool last time out. Southampton came back from behind to beat Leicester City. So both teams emerged winners last week. This time round, Southampton usually give United a game. I remember there's a time they beat them, I think 3-2, when Cavani scored a couple of late goals. Last season, I'm not sure if they drew or something, but Southampton are always good against Man United at home. Man United have kind of picked up now after that Liverpool result. You expect them to be high on confidence. But same with Southampton, they also just won a Carabao Cup game. Man United will be fresher, but they also played on Monday. So I'm going to go for a draw here. Southampton 1, Man United 1. The next game on Saturday will be Manchester City against Crystal Palace. Funny enough, Man City did not beat Crystal Palace at all last season. In fact, in this game, Crystal Palace were comfortable and won the game by 2 goals to 0. Will we see the same? Crystal Palace have looked good this season. They've already drawn away at Liverpool. Man City, though, at home, the first game they played at home, they thumped Bournemouth by 4 goals to 0. Will we see another shock result here? This time, I don't think so. Man City have already dropped points in the last game. I don't think they'll allow that to happen again. I am going to go for Manchester City 3, Crystal Palace 1. The next game on Saturday will be Liverpool against Bournemouth. Liverpool, surprisingly, Liverpool have not been good at all this season. Obviously, drew with Fulham. They also drew with Crystal Palace and lost to Man United. Basically, Liverpool have not yet won a game. Since when did you see or hear Liverpool not winning a game almost the entirety of the first month? That would be crazy if they didn't win against Bournemouth. Bournemouth, they've had it very, very tough. They had to face City 2 weeks ago. They had to face Arsenal last week, and now facing Liverpool. I think it's going to be very, very hard for them. So I am going to go for Liverpool to pick up their first win of the season and Bournemouth to pick up 3 defeats in a row. So Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 0. The next game will be Chelsea against Leicester City. Both teams losing last week. Some may say surprisingly for both, Chelsea losing to Leeds and Leicester losing to Southampton. Leicester still haven't bought anyone, and Chelsea, in terms of having a striker, they definitely still need a striker. They're looking very toothless up front. Sterling did have a couple of chances last week, but not enough, man, not enough. So I am going to go for, I was tempted to go for a draw here, but I think since it's at home, I'm going to give Chelsea the benefit of the doubt. So I'm going to go for Chelsea 3, Leicester City 2. Also because there are so many rumors about players leaving Leicester for Fana heading to Chelsea as well. Maddison, Tielemans, all those guys. So Chelsea to win that game by 3 goals to 2. Brighton against Leeds. I really enjoyed watching this teams this season. to be fair to them, both teams are very entertaining. Even the last two campaigns, Leeds always have 4-3s, 3-2s, even if Bielsa is not there. And Brighton, they always get so many chances. They end up losing games, but the number of chances they create per game is incredible. So both teams already. The last time Brighton played at home, they drew 0-0, but the last time Leeds played away, they drew 2-2 with Southampton. And last week, Brighton have already beaten West Ham and Man United this season, and Leeds beat Chelsea last week. So I'm expecting a high-scoring game here, and Brighton being at home, I'm going to go for Brighton 3, Leeds 2. The likes of Trossard, well back at Brighton, looking good. The likes of Aronson and Rodrigo looking good at Leeds. I think most of them will pick up, get on the score sheet in this one. The next game will be Brentford against Everton. Everton have not looked good at all, and the last time Brentford played at home, they beat Man United by 4-0. They will be confident to go again. Everton not confident at all. I still feel like Lampard could end up being sacked very, very soon if he's not careful. They were very lucky to stay up last season, and I think they will be very lucky to stay up this season again. So I am going to go for Brentford to win this game by 3-1. And then the final game on Saturday will be Arsenal against Fulham. Arsenal 3 wins out of 3 so far. Fulham, I wouldn't say surprisingly, I actually predicted them to stay up, but surprisingly still, they haven't lost a game so far this season. They drew with Liverpool, they drew with Wolves, and beat Brentford. 3 tough games in the Premier League, not easy at all, especially playing Liverpool and then Wolves away. Not easy, but they've still not yet lost a game. But unfortunately, I think they lose this one. Nothing to be ashamed about. I still think they'll do well this season. I think Arsenal will stay top of the table for at least another week. So Arsenal 3, Fulham 0. The next game on that's the last game on Saturday. So heading into Sunday, Aston Villa against West Ham. Aston Villa, the last time they played at home, they did beat Everton, and West Ham, surprisingly, bottom of the table as we speak. They still haven't picked up a point. They still haven't even scored a goal. They lost to Manchester City. They also lost to Nottingham Forest in the last away game. So things are not looking so good for them at the moment. I still think they'll remain bottom of the table for at least another week, but they will pick up their first points of the season. I'm going to go for Aston Villa 1, West Ham 1. The next game on Sunday will be Wolves against Newcastle. The last time Wolves played at home, it ended up being 0-0. The last time Newcastle played at home, it ended up being away from home, 0-0. So Newcastle had traveled to Brighton and Wolves were at home to Fulham. Both games ending up 0-0. Wolves were lucky though. Fulham missed a penalty on that day. So in this one, I am going to go for yet another draw, but both teams to score. So Wolves 1, Newcastle 1. And then finally, Nottingham Forest against Tottenham. Fun enough, both these teams have been drawn together in the Carabao Cup. Nottingham Forest, if they're going to remain in the Premier League this season, they're going to have to depend on their home form and the experience of players like Jesse Lingard. But Tottenham, last time they went away, they got a good draw against Chelsea away from home. So I think Tottenham will win this one. Nottingham Forest 1, Tottenham 3. Nottingham will still need to depend on their home form. So if they can get something from this one, it would be great for them. In terms of one player to definitely score, I am going to go for Son against Nottingham Forest. The first week I went for Watkins, second week I went for Haaland, and then last week I went for EVERTON, so I was spot on with that one. And then in terms of total number of goals, I have gone for 28. I'm not expecting as many goals as last week. Wolves, Newcastle could be low scoring. Southampton, Man United could be low scoring, but there are a couple of games I'm expecting high scores. Brighton, Leeds, Man City, Crystal Palace. As always, let me know your predictions for the week. Which teams you think will score the most goals this week? And which player will score and how many goals will there be this week? As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.